Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. So this is going to be a really quick update on Poppy and also some of my other plants that have obviously just grown wild, and I just wanted to give you all an update on how they were going in their pots. So as you can see, here is Poppy. You may notice that I'm in a different location, so I have moved recently, and so I no longer have a northeast facing window, which is, I'm in Australia, so for the rest of you, that's a southeast facing window. Yeah, so I've got a west facing window now, so I just get more of the sort of the afternoon sun. So yeah, my plants are sort of suffering from that, which is, there's nothing I can do about it. But yeah, here is Poppy. I'll insert some pictures as I sort of speak through in terms of what's happened to her. So the last video I sort of showed you guys that she was yellowing out a little bit at the bottom. So she yellowed out those essentially two bottom leaves. So I lost two large bottom leaves, which I guess, was sort of from overwatering and over fertilizing, but also, I was sort of moving into, I guess, colder weather, so I wasn't getting as much sun. But that's essentially what happened. I'll show some pictures, but the two bottom leaves yellowed out and essentially died and fell off. I also had a really large leaf at the back here, which sort of snapped. I'll try and find pictures, but essentially snapped. I think I left the back door open, and essentially a big gush of wind came through, and I got home and the back leaf pretty much snapped over in half. So that slowly yellowed out and died as well. And so this is sort of what I have left. I'm trying obviously to give her as much light in this place as much as possible, but it's a west facing window, so there's only so much I can do there. So you will see that she's sort of suffering from that, not getting as much light. I'm sort of heading into winter, so it's a lot colder now, and obviously I'm not getting as much sun. But this back leaf here is a new leaf, and you will see, I'll try and show you close-ups, but you'll see that it is a lot smaller than all of my previous leaves. And most recently she's popped out another leaf here, which is essentially teeny tiny. So no more large leaves are coming out, and yeah, it's obviously a combination of reasons, mainly because of light. Like I said, we're sort of moving into winter now, and I don't have a northeast facing window anymore, but I still have her in the same pot. And I'm just refilling, it's a self-watering, and I'm just filling the reservoir. But I'm sort of not doing it as often now that it's a bit cooler. Another thing that happened in the last couple of months with Poppy was that she got spider mites. I got really busy at work and just everything going on, so I pretty much neglected her, didn't clean her leaves, and I just wasn't checking her out for quite a while. And it was probably because I also wasn't filling her reservoir, her water reservoir, as often as I should have. So she pretty much got attacked by spider mites. Basically the bottom leaf here got attacked. Luckily I caught it in time and I managed to get rid of the spider mites, but I'll show you some close-ups as well. You will see that the reason why I picked it up that she had spider mites was I was looking at this bottom leaf, and it was starting to look a little bit dotty, like white dots, and I thought that was really strange. So I then looked at that leaf closer, and I saw some webbing at the top of her leaf, and I saw some spider mites. So I managed to get rid of it pretty much with my standard spider mite solution, which worked a treat. So I use water, a few drops. I use tea tree oil and peppermint oil, and I also add a fair amount of rubbing alcohol, so isopropyl alcohol, and a bit of dish soap, and I sort of shake that up, and I pretty much drenched her, all of her leaves, and especially the bottom one, and sort of wiped away and got rid of all of the noticeable webbing and spider mites that I could see. And essentially I just kept drenching her every couple of days, just to make sure that I'd gotten rid of them and didn't let them sort of fester anymore. But that pretty much resolved her spider mite issue. But yeah, this is Poppy. This is where she's at. So this is the latest update on her. And I know you're all really curious. And I'll show some close-ups. But I wanted to also give you an update on some of my other plants. So let me just grab them. Okay, I had to move Poppy out of the way because she's just too big. But this is I had a pothos video up where I sort of planted these and just really heavily overfilled the pot. So this is where it's at, doing really well. Yeah, so it's probably been almost a year now. So she did take a while to sort of start really growing out, but once she did, she's doing really well. Her leaves aren't huge or anything like that, but I'm really happy with how she looks because she's quite full and she's starting to sort of trail down. So that's the update on the pothos plant video that I did. Just put this back. All right, now I'll show you Mary because I know you're all really curious in terms of how Mary is going in her self-watering pot. She's doing really well. Let me grab her. All right, hopefully you can see this, but this is Mary. Her reservoir's empty, so I need to fill her up. It's the morning at the moment. But yeah, I don't know, obviously, yeah, you can go back and look at my original video on Mary, where I first purchased, only had her for maybe 2 months, and she has grown super wild in this self-watering pot. It works really, really well. It is my lowest maintenance plant, essentially, because I just fill up her reservoir and she just grows wild. I'll see how she goes. Obviously now with the west-facing window, she's not getting as much light, so, you know, that isn't going to help. But she's huge, so I don't really need her to be any bigger than she is. But you'll see that some of her leaves are sort of yellowing out. And I left them on so I could show you guys, but that's really normal. Every now and then I have to give her a trim with some of her older foliage. That it's just part of the natural cycle, really. They're going to obviously grow out, they're going to age, and they're going to yellow out, you know, to make way for the newer foliage, which continues to grow with this plant. So, yep, maidenhair, Mary, still with amazing hair and doing really well. So, hope you can see that. But yeah, I'll try and show you guys some close-ups of me trimming some of her older foliage. But yeah, she's really huge. She's dangling down, so I've got her on like a little stand, and I have her by the window so that, you know, she's, yeah, getting as much light as possible, really. But I have heaps of other plants, but these are the main ones that I wanted to show you guys in terms of the update, in how they were going. I think the other one was my philodendron McDowell, so I'll grab that and show you guys. Okay, so here's my philodendron McDowell. She's struggling a little bit, obviously, in the new place because, yeah, I just don't have as much light or space for her, but she did really well in my northeast facing place, and I think I've cut a leaf off because that one yellowed out and died, but I think in my care since that video, three large leaves came out of that. So yeah, she's a bit awkward at the moment because she's sort of growing all over the place because I keep sort of moving her so she doesn't know where to face, and also she had some damage when I moved her. So yeah, this one's a bit of a struggle because I just don't have a good spot for her here, but she's doing really, you know, she did really well in this pot, and I'll show some close-ups in terms of how her roots have grown in this self-watering pot. But again, philodendron and McDowells, they don't like a lot of water. So it's really hard to gauge, you know, how much to water her. So I think having her in this pot has worked out better for me, because I just fill up a little bit of I don't fill it up to full. I just, you know, give it some, you know, I just fill up the reservoir a little bit, and then just see how she goes with it, because yeah, they don't like too much water. But yep, that's pretty much, I think, all of my main plants that I've done videos on. So anyway, it's just a really quick video update. So I hope you guys enjoyed and can see that they're all doing really well, even though I've moved. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. Thank you. Bye.